more than more.
Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Ahman Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Emilio in Tennessee. We have Jacob joining us shortly. We don't know where he's at right now, but we'll see. Yeah, just
We
hopefully.
don't even know if he'll join us shortly. It's just a hope and a pray with him.
Just hope he posted bond. That's all I'm hoping to happen. So hopefully everybody had an awesome day today on this glorious November the 6th. I know we went live earlier, chatted with some folks, had a bunch of people jump in here. That was awesome on the afternoon show. So I know we're getting ready for a little bit of Thursday night prime football this evening, as we've got the Raiders at the Broncos. So the 2-6 Raiders trying to upset the 7-2 Broncos, who are 4-0 at home. I was hoping we might get some cold weather. Looks like it's about 56 degrees out there in Denver. So we'll keep you guys posted on that game as we go through the show. Also, we're going to hit on the injury report. We got the first injury report for Packers-Eagles. We're going to give you guys the first Packers-Eagles PFF preview. We'll talk about the betting line, talk about the quarterback comparison, and some of the other metrics there. Then we're going to dive into a Week 10 preview of the NFL, kind of show you the slate of games, and then jump into a little playoff prediction and kind of play around with the playoff predictor there, Emilio, and see how does this game affect other games and whatnot, and what it's going to take to kind of try to keep a stranglehold on that NFC North. But before we get into everything, if you guys would do that YouTube stuff for me, hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us part of your evening. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans just like you talking Packers on the daily. So make sure you click subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. Amelia, you were going to say something there, but I had to get the –
I was just going to say, you said 56 up in Bronco country. Man, how beautiful was it today? Did you even go outside, or were you just sitting in front of the computer playing your games all day?
No, we worked today, and man, it's kind of sad too, because as you're driving around Tennessee, we're up here in Northeast Tennessee. Emilio's about an hour south of us, something like an hour and a half. I'm driving around, look at these trees, going, we only got about another week, and all those leaves are gone. You know,
that's crazy.
It's gorgeous right now, man. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
And yesterday with the wind, man, it's falling. The colors look great. But yeah, beautiful 70 degrees down here. I couldn't complain.
Yeah, it's been great for sure. So, all right, man, let's jump into it. Let's hit this injury report real quick. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, Emilio, but I think it is important to kind of dive in. Just a couple of quick notes that caught my eye. Dontavion Wicks was back at practice, but he was limited. Obviously, he's dealing with the calf injury. And Lucas Van Ness still did not participate. So it may be another week before we get LVN back. But if we dive into this specific injury report here, it's about as good as I can do.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So Packers side, limited. You had Aaron Banks, Edgerrin Cooper, Matthew Golden, Josh Jacobs, Micah Parsons, Zach Tom, Quay Walker, Christian Watson, Dontavion Wicks, and Kobe Wooden. All of those were limited. I think it's safe to say outside of maybe Dontavion Wicks, the large majority of those guys are probably going to play, right? And then when you jump into the did not participate, you had Nate Hobbs, Lucas Van Ness, and Savion Williams. It's a foot injury for Savion Williams. I think there's a realistic chance, Emilio, that Savion will not be out there this Sunday. It'd be nice to get Tay Wicks back, obviously, to kind of help fill in that role a little bit. And in terms of Lucas Van Ness, unless he practices tomorrow or maybe even Saturday, I know we're one day behind in terms of the injury report as opposed to a normal schedule. I wouldn't expect him to play, and I don't think there's any chance Nate Hobbs plays, obviously, with the MCL there. So anything jump off the page there to you on the Packers side?
No, happy about Mr. Wicks, Mr. Dontavion. Let's get him back out there, right? We're missing him, and Christian will take it, time by time. At least you have him limited. You don't need to go full tilt. And yeah, I'm not too mad at the rest of that, really. I'm happy that McManus is full. I'm sure that would make our boy Tim happy as well. Make sure that he's in good shape, and you really only can tell. I love Matt's response on his interviews. Like, well, how do you know Brandon's good? Well, I see him every day in practice. Like,
right.
How do you know he's good? That's fair. I mean, that's the truth. So I just like that he's straight up with it. Still tough about LVN. Maybe we miss him a little bit more on this front than we had previously thought when you're going into think about Carolina and stuff like that. And it's besides that, not too bad.
Yeah, and that's the same exact way I seen Brandon McManus as well. This idea that us as fans, and this includes us, that me and Emilio here talking, that we somehow think we know what's best for the kicker position. Matt's watching him kick all week long, as well as Haversick. For all we know, behind closed doors, Haversick may be shanking every other kick.
Right.
You don't truly know, right? But with that being said, that's why when he missed that kick last week, he being Brandon McManus, he pulled it. And I think he was kind of in his head. He's trying to, you're coming back from that injury and you're trying to get back into the swing of things. You got a little bit of wind. Obviously, it was gusting 20, 25 mile an hour all day long. That's a lot to think about, So I think they'll stick with Brandon McManus this week. And listen, if his struggles continue, and let's say Haversick is looking good behind the scenes, you can just go straight to Haversick, keep McManus as a backup plan, see if Haversick gets hot over McManus, do the same thing you're doing right here, and, no harm, no foul, right? And after this year, you can actually get out of McManus's contract if you want to next year with minimal cap. I think you'll free up roughly $1.6 million, I think it is,
right,
in space next year if you decide to move on. Not that they should. Again, I'm amazed, Emilio, how people went from McManus's – last year he was outside of a guy who only kicked 2 field goals, I believe. He had the highest field goal percentage in the entire league.
Right.
Suffers a quad injury, struggling to get back into the swing of things. And all of a sudden, people are ready to kick him to the curb. I just can't get on board with that, man.
Yeah, and especially after the kicker woes we went through. I mean, so yeah, he Haversick's 10-0 or 9 for 9 on kicks. And yeah, what if you put him out there and he misses 2? Then what's everyone going to say? You can't sit there and dress 2 if you're only able to dress 48 a game. You kind of have to make that decision pre-game. You really need those jerseys. So I just let the man kick. That's why we brought him in. That's why we paid for him. I think he's got more clutch scenarios too, more time crunch, ice in his veins type stuff. Yeah, Haversick hit the Packers history longest, but I mean, does that really matter at this moment? Because Brandon McManus could hit it a 62-yarder at the end of this year. Yeah, maybe that 58 one came up short, but he had the straightness, and he was still coming back from the quad. So I'm not mad at it, and I think we just got to let him go.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris Casual says McManus was stone cold last season. He really was, man. He was. So that's why I'm not so quick to kick him to the game. And that's the thing too, is all the experience that he has kicking in big games and whatnot, right? And here you got Haversick, who, go look at his career stats, right? It's not like they're that's world beater numbers. He's off to a great start this year. Obviously, in filling in, he did his job, but to just assume that's the kicker he's going to be moving forward, I think it's a bit of a stretch. So let's jump over.
Good thing, real fast before you go. The only good thing is Matthew Golden. Don't see his name on that list. When he went down for that diving catch, he was out of the game the rest of that game. So I'm glad that. I'm serious. I'm sorry.
He was limited.
Wow.
No, but your sentiment, it's spot on anyway, Emilio, because Matt LaFleur talked about how they kind of expect the vibe I got. They expect him to play,
right?
So
and with Savion being out, maybe you're on him a little bit more. I read that 3 times. I literally missed his name each time. I don't know how I did that.
Dude, it's such fine print I can barely see it, but it is what it is, right? Philadelphia Eagles side, all right, full participation. Saquon, then you've got Jacorian Bennett. He's a cornerback. A.J. Brown with the hammy. He was full participation. Some people were worried if he was going to play this week. Willie Lampkin, you remember that name, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Guard/center. He's got a knee and an ankle. He was full participation. And Nolan Smith, outside linebacker with triceps, full participation. Now, in terms of limited, Adoree Jackson, cornerback, he has a concussion, so he's still in concussion protocol, I would imagine. And then you got Moro Ojomo, if I'm saying that right, defensive tackle, concussion as well. He's limited. So those are your limited players. And then, of course, Cam Jurgens, their center. I'm imagining that's a starting center. Wasn't that the center that they drafted? I think they said Jason Kelsey helped them handpick him in the draft.
Right.
Drafted
And then
Cam
they put him
Jurgens.
at right guard or left guard or whatever, and then trained him up.
Yeah, so he's got a knee. He did not participate. That might be a bit of an issue for them if he can't go there.
Yeah. Shorter list and only a couple that you really need to pay attention to. Like you said, the center. And besides that, really just center, I would think. I mean, you have Adoree Jackson out of corner, but they were talking about how Quinyon Mitchell sometimes follows players. And I'm over here, who's he going to be following on our end? But do they need another quarter? They got Cooper DeJean back there. I mean, they have secondary help, so I'm not too worried about that. Really, just the center inside. But Willie Lampkin, real quick, 168.4 on our board. He was a wrestler and had
way undersized, right, Emilio?
Yeah,
way
yep,
undersized.
Yep.
How's he grading out? Do we have any idea?
No, I can pull him up though. You go ahead and keep talking, or you can pull him up.
Actually, I won't put it on the screen, but I've got it right here, I think. Let me just kick this over real quick. It's going to throw everything. Never mind. Look it up, Emilio. What the hell are you doing over? You're not doing anything.
No, you're right. I'm on
it. So I love what Respect Orange says here while you're looking it up. He says, Moro Ajomo. Thanks, Clayton. My furniture's floating in my room now. Oh, man. So, yeah, if you guys remember, Willie Lampkin was very, very undersized. Did he play at Wake Forest?
North
UNC,
Carolina.
UNC, right? Yep. UNC, yeah. So he was undersized. Yeah, Lampkin was about 275 pounds. But if I remember correctly, Emory Hunt had him as the best center in the draft. And everybody's like, what is he smoking, right?
Yep.
What's he grading out to? You got it there yet? Any idea?
Our boy Lampkin is oh, man. There he is. They have him at center right now, actually.
Right. That's what I expected, yeah.
But no, they don't even have a grade for him, I don't think.
Okay, so has he not played, maybe? Is that what it is?
No, I don't see any snaps or anything.
Okay, so he's just kind of in the backup role, it sounds like. So
gotcha. Okay.
So maybe he will kick in the center if Cam Jurgens can't go in this game, right?
Mm-hmm. And he actually says he was a free agent too. Los Angeles Rams picked him up first and then ended up in Philly. But again, Philly's moving a lot of pieces around over there and they know how to build in the trenches. So
yeah, absolutely. So there you go, guys. There's your injury report for Thursday. Thursday is going to be like a normal Wednesday, obviously, with it being a Monday Night Football game. So we'll get the second injury report tomorrow. Saturday will be the final with the game status designation. Let us know in the comments if you're watching this video back later. How do you feel about this injury report? Are you worried? Is there any players here that you think that we maybe aren't as worried about that you think might not play come Monday night against the Philadelphia Eagles? And also make sure you hit like, subscribe, click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right, let's get into a little Packers-Eagles PFF preview. I want to do something a little bit different this time. I want to look at the overall grades and kind of see where they stack up. This is kind of wild. The Packers overall are grading out, according to PFF, as the fourth best team in the league. All right, so you got the Rams 1, Seahawks 2, Lions 3, Packers 4, which is wild that the top 4 teams, according to PFF, are actually NFC teams there, right? And if you go on down in the number 5 spot, the Indianapolis Colts, 6 is the Kansas City Chiefs, and then number 7 is the Philadelphia Eagles. So the way PFF sees this overall kind of preview, Packers are grading out at 86.5 on the year. The Eagles are grading out an 83.5. Does that kind of catch you off guard, or you feel like that's where they should be there? We get the Bills at number 8, Patriots number 9, and then rounding out the top 10s, the Denver Broncos are getting ready to kick off here in a second.
Yeah, maybe that, is PFF, how they kind of base it off consistency. Maybe that's just us kind of narrowing down our consistency, just because I know that the Eagles had a couple of different ones where they were, feast or famine out there. So I think that those numbers may be fair. It could also be flip-flopped just as easily. It's not too much of a difference. You're still mid-80s. Yeah, we're a little bit higher, but with that run block and always being a tough grade for us, you'd think that maybe we could be a little bit even higher than that. But with the Eagles being like, an 83.5, I'm not too worried about it. Right around the same range for points for and against as well.
Yeah. So if you sort it by offensive grade, the Packers dropped to 12th at 75.8. The Eagles jumped to 6th at a 77.8. So PFF seems to be thinking they're playing better football than the Packers on offense. When you go to defense, Green Bay's grading out as the second best defense in the league. Philly drops down to 10th. So it's one of those things from PFF's perspective in terms of grades. And again, it's not everything, guys. They think Philly has the better offense. Packers have the better defense. I think this has got the makings to be a great game, man. I think it's going to come down to protecting the football. And like Matt LaFleur said at his presser today, you want to stop the tush push, keep them out of 4th and short. You know, that's what you do. Keep it 3 yards or more. So,
no, that's exactly it. And that's the only way to do it, right? You got to keep them at 3rd and 5 plus. And then when you are at 3rd and 5, you cannot give up any yards. You got to get them off the field because they can't run a touch push from there. But you get them to 4th and 2, they maybe give that a shot. So it's, it's something the defense has to tighten up on. They kept asking Keyshawn about how he's going to respond to the tush push. He goes, there's nothing I can do over at corner. It's like, I just got to make sure I mark my man and make sure if he runs a route and they try to fake it, he doesn't get past me. So, and Matt really steered away from it as well, too. They kept drilling him on the questions on it. And it was just, move on, let the man scheme something up, and we can talk about it after the game.
Absolutely. Let's dive into some of the important analytics, the numbers here. Okay, let's start off with the point spread. The market currently has the spread at 2.5 still here, according to PFF's website. All right, so it opened at 2.5. It dropped to, let's see. No, it didn't. That's PFF's number. So it's just stayed put the whole time, 2.5, according to PFF on the market number here. Okay, now when you look at the spread, we talked about the money earlier. I think it was yesterday, right? You've got 90% of the money is on the Philadelphia Eagles plus 2.5 points. Okay. So only 10% on the Packers there. That's 80% of the slips are on Philly plus 2.5. All right. When you go to the money line, which is just winning outright, it looks like 90% of the money is on the Eagles. 78% of the tickets are on the Eagles. So they are heavy, heavy, heavy favorites from the gambling community in terms of where the money's going, who they're betting on there. Right. So I usually like this, I've said it week in and week out, Emilio, when you see a heavy point favorite and the public's all over the Packers, I'm like, don't like it. Mm-hmm. Last week was one of them. Right. And then you end up losing the game. Not that it has any tremendous bearing on the result of the game. It's just Vegas knows what the hell they're doing, boys. I'm just telling you. They do. So what's your initial thoughts on that in terms of, and the over-under is set at 45.5?
Yeah. Do you maybe feel a little bit better that we're in the opposite situation this time than we were last week? Rather than, because we're at home, which helps a lot, but we're in sort of the same spot. Okay. Flip-flopped, and you still got to show up for the game. Doesn't matter who's on the other side of the field, but there's a little bit more to this game. Keyshawn remembers that hit. He said, "Oh yeah, I remember the hit. I want to beat them. Christian's lost to him 3 times since he's been there." There's a lot that this team, needs to do. Get the monkey off your back, sort of thing. Maybe looking at that spread that way, is a little sign or something that we can step up, show up for this game, go 1-0 this week.
Yeah. Definitely. So let's look at the team metrics. Overall power ranking, PFF has the Packers 4th best in the league, the Eagles 7th best in the league. On defense, their power ranking has the Packers 12th and the Eagles 11th. However, their grades have the Packers defense grading out 2nd best and the Eagles grading out 10th. That's where you run into some discrepancies when it comes to PFF, right? Offensively, it's kind of the flip-flop there. They have the Packers grading out ranked 4th best, with the Eagles ranking 6th best. Strength of schedule, however, the Packers have played the 25th toughest schedule in the league. The Eagles are a little more battle tested with the 12th toughest schedule. So they've been a little more tested in terms of the strength of opponent. To this point, you guys know how I feel about strength of schedule. It's just constantly changing. Average snaps per game offensively, Packers are setting at 65 snaps. The Eagles are averaging 61. We run the ball slightly more than the Eagles do at 42.2%. They're at 41.4%. So both teams going to be throwing the ball around 58% of the time if they stick to that average. In terms of running, EPA per run, the Eagles are way better at the run than the Packers. Positive 0.02 EPA per run. Packers negative 0.04. However, EPA per pass, the Packers are at a positive 0.26. The Eagles are at a positive 0.14. So essentially what we're learning here, Emilio, EPA-wise, we have the better passing game. They have the better running game. If you remove Carolina's game last week, our run defense has been really, really good.
Yeah.
Let's hopefully get back to old form and not, we showed it on Chalk. We showed you 3 running plays, and all 3 plays where you had the resources allocated, our guys just got out of their run fit. Do you agree with that, or am I looking?
No, I think that's what we kind of came to yesterday, and that's where you just see is it a mental lapse? Is it just not a studying of tape thing, whatever it may be? I think it probably was just a, flinch reaction. Those are the things we kind of need to hammer out. You just got to trust that everybody, is doing their 111th on the field. You got to stay in your lane, stay in your gap, and you just can't get caught peeking. And all right, fine. We learned about it against Carolina. Let's move forward and keep going now.
Yeah. Now, when you go to the quarterback matchup here, Jalen Hurts is grading out at 82.6, Jordan Love 79.6. Passer rating when the pocket is clean, Jordan Love 130.5, Jalen Hurts 125.5. Here's where the Eagles quarterback has the advantage over Jordan Love. Jalen Hurts passer rating when under pressure 87.6. Keep in mind they run a 6-back offense. A lot of RPR looks, right? So some of those, it may look like under pressure when they're designed for him to run, pass, run option, get out and roll out with the option to run. Typically, that'll freeze the defense. Sometimes that can inflate the numbers a bit. I'm not trying to take anything away from Jalen Hurts. I'm one of the few Packer fans that thinks Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. I think he's a great quarterback, a great leader as well. Jordan Love with pressure, however, this is where he struggled. 42.1 passer rating under pressure there. Big time throw percentage, advantage Jordan Love 4.75%, Jalen Hurts 3.97%. Turnover worthy play percentage, Jordan Love's has now blimped to a 3.05%, and Jalen Hurts is protecting the football really, really well, only 1.44% there. Power rating, however, 4.5 edge goes to Jordan Love, 4.0 for Jalen Hurts. Power rating rank, essentially PFF saying this is the 7th best quarterback in the league versus the 8th best quarterback in the league. They give the slight edge to Jordan Love, although, surprise, Emilio, Jordan Love has the lesser grade, but somehow they think he's better.
Yeah, lesser grade, but he's got a big time throw percentage, so let's give him the number, right? And, it's all I want to see. Let me get a 50-yard, 60-yard gain and move on. But, yeah, it's going to be a battle between the two. Jalen being, like you were saying, under pressure, if it's RPR, whatnot, being able to handle that is good. When Jordan's under pressure, yeah, we had a pick. When our O-lines, that's also probably a testament to their O-line. Yeah, he's under pressure, but what kind is the pressure? How close is he? Is it hands up? Are they still in front of the guy? So with all that, I think that, having Jordan be double the turnover-worthy play percentage of Jalen Hurts, I'm not mad at those. I'm not mad at those numbers. I don't think I would trade Jordan or take away that from him, but we want to see him tighten it up. And I think going through a couple of those deep shots and getting that pick, just a reminder, hey, we got to be clean with the ball, take the win and keep going.
Yeah, definitely. We got Jacob joining us now. 2-0 for this has a question for you, Jacob. He says, Jacob, how accurate is Magic Mike?
Not very. I mean, those guys' washboard abs, it's more like, why have a 6-pack when you can have a full keg? You know what I mean?
Thick.
Thank you.
It's hilarious to ask that question, right? I get asked the question a lot, knowing that I grew up in a biker family. Hey, is Sons of Anarchy, is that pretty? No, it's not accurate. Are you kidding me? They don't look like that. Trust me.
Right.
All my uncles don't look like those Hollywood folks, I promise you that. So, but thanks for answering that question, Jake. Let me ask you a question, man. Do you have the over-unders? You get those easily accessible there? The reason I want to ask you is I want to know what the over-unders are for Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts in this game in terms of passing yards, and I also want to know what Jalen Hurts' over-under is on rushing yards, because while he's looking that up, Emilio, and we'll kind of let him take over in a second, are you worried about Jalen Hurts running the football on us? Because I feel like since Hafley took over, we haven't had a problem with scrambling quarterbacks. The sacks are going to go down a little bit because we got that cage rush and some touch spying going on. But I feel like it worked last week. The problem was we got out of our run fits when they handed the ball off to Rico Dowdle.
I would only be worried a little bit just in the fact of where our pass rush would be, how much pressure are we actually going to be getting under him or on him. Either way, he's kind of spinning it under pressure or not under pressure. So if we're going to just cage rush it, can we maybe do it in a fire zone and try to get him off balance, get something from a different way so that it's not just the 4 down every time. Yeah, he knows where Mike is going to be, but that O-line isn't bad. I think that's why we're going to be banking a lot on what happens with their center. And then we need to really kind of see how we can attack that O-line and force Jalen into some pickle situations.
Got it. Go ahead, Jacob. You have the floor, sir. Talk to us about the over-unders there, man.
Sure. If you're looking for Jordan Love's over-under in the pass yards, he is slated at 231.5, according to Prize Picks, which generally lines up with Underdog and DraftKings and that sort of stuff there. Jalen Hurts is slated at 195.5 as it sits right now. You asked about his rushing as well. He is going to be right at 28.5. Jordan Love at 10.5. And while I'm here, I might as well tell you, Josh Jacobs at 70.5 and Saquon at 76.5.
I feel really good about the over for Jordan Love. Their passing defense seems to have been their weak spot early in the year. I'm going to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's how that falls as we uncovered that yesterday. What do you think about those over-under numbers, Amelia? You see me point up. I'm taking the over with Jordan Love in passing yards. What would you do, man?
Scared money don't make. Scared money don't make money.
We do it nice because we do it twice, right?
I'm telling you, that's it. Yeah, I think Love's gonna be hucking that thing. Yeah, we need to get. I think
doing that thing.
On what?
Huck Tua in that thing, or
No.
Just
No, but he could be. I don't know.
Where did she go, by the way? Where is she?
She disappeared, Jacob.
I think the feds are still looking for her over
That's
that.
what I think.
Yeah, no, over on both for sure.
All right, got it. What would you do, Jacob, in that regard?
Boy, I think I would take the over on Love. I think I might take the under on Hurts just because I feel like it could be a more physical game where they try to really do a lot of run fits, even some quarterback sneaks. We obviously know what they have in the tush push and everything that comes along with that. I think and then definitely I'd slam the over on his rush yards. Every single week that they have Jordan Love in single digits or right around 10, 11, it just seems like he's more capable than ever in his ability to kind of peel it out. And he's not doing it like he needs to, like a lot of young quarterbacks or, even seasoned quarterbacks that always kind of just tuck and run because that's their best option. He really does wait, it seems like, until that's the only other option, unless it's just like a wide open lane. So I love that about him. I think that he's going to utilize that. And in this game specifically, knowing how big of a matchup it is against the Eagles, I think he's going to smash that over.
Got it. And you mentioned Josh Jacobs. That number seemed a little high to me. I had it wrong there. Their passing defense is 12th best in the league. The rushing defense is 19th best in the league. So Josh Jacobs, another week healthier, right? And I think he looked great last week. I wish we would have kind of stuck with the run a little bit more in those first down situations, obviously, and then a little later in the game. But maybe Jacobs is the better play there than Jordan, although I still feel pretty good about Jordan going over that number because there's also a chance that Philly jumps out to an early lead here and Jordan's having to throw the ball maybe more than we want him to, right?
Right. Jacob, Jen Wright asked, do you have Watson's yards?
Yeah, I do actually. I'm kind of surprised at this. Christian Watson's slated at only 31.5.
Oh.
I mean, he could do that in one shot. You know what I mean? Yeah. Easy money. While we're at it, Romeo Dobbs at 52.5. And guys, this is a Thursday night, so we've got quite a bit of time before we snap the ball Sunday night. So these do shift quite a bit. I shouldn't say quite a bit, but generally they will move up and down. So they got Musgrave at 30.5. I mean, that one's tempting as well. Jacobs at 18.5 receiving yards. And let me know if you want to know any about the Philadelphia Eagles side. But I mean,
I know where you're going, Clay. Let's hear it.
That Watson just seems like over.
And traditionally, Vic Fangio runs quarters match, right? Contrary to popular belief, where Mia Kimes just said, "All you got to do is throw the ball over the top, beat quarters. It's easy, right?" Listen, typically the way teams attack this is to get deep enough on crossers, right? Crossers and digs to get those corners to commit to that target and then throw something in behind it, right? So think of it from that standpoint. If they are in quarters a lot, and I don't know if they are this year, I'd have to go watch their tape extensively to find out, is that truly quarters? Are they playing spot drop? Are they playing more cover three? We got the numbers. We'll talk about what they are here in a minute. When you talk about them, if they're playing that traditional Vic Fangio shell look, that would make me think that's going to deter us from throwing over the top as much as maybe we want to. We got burned last week doing that, right? We've seen a little bit of shell look. You end up throwing into triple coverage. You get the pick in that one play. To me, it kind of feels like it might be either Matthew Golden or Romeo Doubs I would be more interested in. However, like you said, Jacob, Christian Watson, 30-some yards, man. Because they're going to move him around. We've seen him play F. We've seen him play X. He's played Z. He's mostly played Z, but they put him in the F to get some of those 2 and 3 looks there as well. But when you look at their defense, 25% of the time, the Eagles are playing cover 1 man. All right. 28% of the time, they're playing cover 3. 17% of the time, they are playing cover 4, right? Yeah, make sure I'm in the right column. Cover 6, 16% of the time. So essentially what you've got is cover 3, first and foremost, then cover 1 man, then it goes to cover 4, which is their quarters coverage, and then cover 6 is the order in which they run there. Now, they do play cover 0 3% of the time, which that's about middle of the pack. There's nothing extravagant there, right? Maybe top third in terms of that look. Now, they may have had a lot of red zone looks as well. But when you look at this, you're essentially saying it's going to be most of the time cover 3 or cover 1 man. That's middle field close. That screams crossers. Is what that screams.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Emilio? Am I missing something there?
No, I think you're spot on with that. And you got a big target in Musgrave. You got a speedy target in Matthew Golden. And you have a big frame receiver in Christian Watson that can run off guys if he needs to. The way that they were kind of asking Matt, and just how Quinyon Mitchell travels, who do you think that he would pick? It's probably going to be everybody, right? But they say, all right, Quinyon normally follows a number 1 wide receiver. Not saying that you have to pick him as a number 1 wide receiver. Who would you think that he would want to follow in this game?
I would imagine based off the recent tape, that would be Christian Watson. Either Christian Watson or Romeo Doubs is who he would follow. Yeah, that's what I think they would do, because Christian Watson has been the big play guy. So if you want to do like a little, almost like a bullseye look and go, all right, you erase. Think of what we did with Carrington Valentine on Ted McMillan last week.
We'll cover 3 lock.
Yeah, that type of thing I could see. That's the way I would approach it. If you showed me the Packers tape and we watched it all and said, all right, pick 1 receiver you want to take away this Sunday, I'm taking away Christian Watson because the guy's averaging 25 yards a catch. Or no, 23 yards a catch. That's your big play threat right there. Make them consistently, them being the Packers, make the right decision and distribute the ball accurately underneath and stay patient. Because one thing we know about Jordan Love, he's a big game hunter. He won't stay patient long. He wants to go for the shot play. So, and I will say this for the people raking Matt LaFleur over the coals, after hearing his presser, watching the tape, those deep shot plays had underneath options that he didn't take. And also the bubble out there or the smoke to Savion Williams, that was an alert, just like we called it on Chalk Talk. Matt LaFleur talked about it. You got a run play baked in there. You want to take the hat count where you can get it. There's a lot of that stuff that comes into play that if Aaron Rodgers was still the quarterback, people would be saying, why does he keep changing the play? And that's how the offense is created with Matt LaFleur. So with all that being said, I'd like to see us press into the run, just like we did last week. I know it's going to piss fans off, but this is going to be one of those games that if you go out there and you try to wing it all over the yard all day and they play the possession game with their running game, you're going to find yourself in a similar situation as Carolina last week. I truly believe that. They're gonna just make you be patient until you make a mistake, stick with the run, jump out to an early lead. I'm telling you, man, if Savion doesn't fumble that ball on that first drive, that game is totally different.
Absolutely.
Totally. Sucks, man. Let's see. We had a couple other things in here real quick. I really liked what Jen Wright said. Golden has been drawing a lot of coverage. Most people say Golden's a bust, blah, 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 blah. We showed it last week. 3 guys keyed in on Golden when he ran the crosser, the climb route out of the 3, right? It literally drew 3 guys to him that opened up the dig to Romeo Doubs. The coaches are watching that tape and going, great job, Agent Zero. Great job. That's what we got you for. Now defenses have got to start to decide, do we go with Christian Watson or do we continue to hammer down on Matthew Golden? Things are about to open up for Golden. I believe that.
Yeah. I can't wait for his breakout game. And if it happens against the Eagles under the lights on Monday night, all the merrier, man. He's got the speed. He's got the hands. And I think Jordan's probably going to look to him a little bit more now that Tucker's not there, right? Everybody, Matt was saying, and Jordan, everyone's got to pull a little bit more now. You got to pull a little bit more weight now. Put another 5 on there because now that Tucker's out of there, you're not going to get that same production out of Musgrave. Nothing against Musgrave. It's just not going to be funneled to him like that. So everybody else is going to get a little bit that they need to work on it and step up.
Yeah, definitely. Completely agree with you, though, Jim. I think that's a great comment, great observation there. I want to show one more thing. Somebody asked a question here. Too old for this. Read that, guys. I'm going to pull it up.
Jacob, what do we got here?
Too old for this is asking, who is the ref crew? And Jen Wright promptly replied, some dirtbag.
Oh,
Look at this
true.
dirtbag watch right here, Clay Martin. Look at this guy.
God, who's named Clay?
108% Caucasian. Look at this guy from the mountains of Caucasus. This guy has This guy has an 815 credit score right now. I promise you. Look at this guy. Are you kidding me? What a dirtbag. Seriously. So I broke it down. It's hard to see the numbers here sharing it, but they're about middle of the pack. His crew is Clay Martin. If you could see my cursor, they're right about here in terms of penalty flags thrown per game. So I think it's not going to be like a flag fest, right? But also, it's not going to be one of those games where you feel like they're non-existent. Probably right. So, I want to play it somewhat safe. So
hold on. Respect Order just says Clay Martin thinks mac and cheese is too spicy.
There it is. Breaking news. So this is something we're adding into the game plan. I just went ahead and started to put it together. So in the game plan so far, I'm going to work on it tomorrow while I'm here at the house. So we've already got the injury report. We'll update that as the new one comes out. We went ahead and put the dirtbag watch in. I'll start to dive into, all right, here's the game plan for beating Philadelphia Eagles, and we'll add all that in tomorrow. So maybe we'll look up, though, guys, and get a game where we don't have a whole lot of flags. That would be awesome.
Okay, let him play. You think Mike is going to get a holding call over under?
Yeah. So there you go. There's your little mini Packers-Eagles preview. Let us know in the comments if you're watching this video back later. How do you feel about that matchup? Maybe you agree or tell us, do you agree or disagree with where Jordan Love's ranked, where Jalen Hurts is ranked? Am I giving Jalen Hurts too much credit? Am I not giving him enough? Let us know in the comments how you see this game. Do you think it should be a 2.5-point game? Should the Packers be favored at home? Or do you think the Eagles are a little bit better built team? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you hit subscribe, click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. Jacob, you got anything you want to hit before? I know you got in here a little late. I want to give you the floor. Is there anything you want to touch on real quick before we jump in? What I thought we would do is go around the league week 10, kind of give everybody a preview of the games we got coming up. And then we'll also play around with the playoff predictor here a little bit too.
Playoffs? No, what I will say is I think I saw that you maybe came out, was it today or yesterday? You had a breaking news segment.
Playoffs?
Sorry, I had to hit you.
I knew it was going to come. You know, that was
That's
happening.
what she said.
Did you do a breaking segment on when Jaden Reed is going to be coming back? And if so, what did I miss there? Is it more like a week or two?
Don't try to act professional now. We've already run it. Yes, they're saying Thanksgiving, Jacob, is what I'm hearing. So
okay.
I think Tom Silverstein reported on it in an article. There were a couple other people on Twitter saying the same thing. So Thanksgiving at Detroit, that would be awesome. Let's pull up the schedule real quick. I did this earlier too on that early stream. So we've got the Eagles, then at the Giants, Minnesota at home, and then it would be at the Detroit Lions. To me, that seems like a good spot that if you're going to be a little bit aggressive trying to get him back, hold him out until going to Detroit. Now, maybe he'll come before that, right? Maybe he'll be out and ready to go. That'd be absolutely awesome if he's available, right? So, anyway, what do you think, Emilio? Do you think Thanksgiving is realistic for Jaden Reed, or do you think that's something that it's going to take a little bit longer there?
Yeah. When did it was? What week did he get hurt?
I think it was week 1, was it not? Was it not the first game?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it was. So they said 6 to 8 weeks roughly. I would get him back. You know, you're back in their money. You saw him walking around. I'm fine with coming back Thursday. If it's not there, no problem. We have weapons there in the offense. I think that you could, let it ride, but you do have you have 3 divisional games in a row right there. You'd love to have him for the first one, but I think that you're probably looking a little bit more at the Lions game.
Yeah, everybody's confirming it was week 2. So he played week 1, and then week 2 is where he got hurt against the Commanders.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I mean,
What do you think, Jake? If you asked the question, man, how do you feel about it? When would you want him to come back?
well, I was just gonna say, we talked about it since the beginning of this year, into the off season, into from the end of last year, just how blessed we are to have a team that we have legitimately 5 to 6, sometimes even 7, depending on who was on the roster, of guys that can just next man up mentality. Even now we're seeing that in the tight end room. And you guys know that, I mean, I was absolutely devastated with the Tucker Kraft news. I think we all were as a fan base. It just shines a spotlight on, all right, Luke, now is your time. We literally drafted you a round before Tuck Norris, and we've yet to see you maybe come to fruition, but the intangibles are there. The ability is there. Everything that he put on tape, we just now need to see it have a complete game. You can talk about that too with guys like Savion, obviously Golden, adding it. Dobbs has been pretty steady Eddie this year. It's just a pretty brilliant thing to be able to have Watson come back into the fold. And now we're talking about Jaden Reed coming back. And even though we've lost a piece, we are gaining a piece if we are able to have that step in. And somebody else in the comments, I can't remember who it was. Yeah, right here. Rodney Jens was saying, could we see a little Wiley? And I believe that was one of the practice squad guys that a lot of people were a little bit excited about, because another big specimen. I think he had a pretty decent RAS as well. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But just, again, another puzzle piece. That's why Goody in that front office gets a lot of hate, but they get a lot of I think that they don't get a lot of accolades when the way that they kind of build this roster year in and year out, having backup contingencies so that if something, God forbid, happens to your star players, you have a little bit of a deep well that you can go into. So, and then I love this right here that Jake's saying. Jake Marsky 33034 says, everybody remember, we are entering week 1 from Toyotathon. So we're getting into the absolute, like when the chill hits the air, when it starts to drop a little low, Jordan Love gets on fire.
But
Get
he's
some of
a
these-
grown-ass man now. And
Sure is.
You get some of these folks that come out of Carter County down here. Carter County is like the backwoods county where we live, and they go into the about said it there, the Toyota dealership down there. My buddy Eric used to work there. He said, man, they come in and go, hey, you got one of them Coyote Tundras? They call it Coyote. So, yeah, it's Coyote Thon is what we're coming up on here. So, all right.
Extra excited. All right.
I literally got the background music ready and Amelia over it.
Oh, you had it for. Oh, I'm sorry. That's why it was looping. I was like, I know I turned it off.
I turned it all the way down to where it wouldn't be too loud. Put the loop on, Amelia over, letting the redneck voice loose. I love it, man. Show sucks. All right, let's dive into it, man. Let's go around the league real quick and give everybody kind of an update, or not an update, a preview, if you will, of what's going on in the National Football League. Really excited about some of these games. Obviously, tonight kicking off, Raiders at the Broncos. The Broncos are 7-2. Raiders are 2-6 traveling into Denver. Broncos have been red hot at home, 4-0 there at home. So that should be a fun one to watch this evening after the show. And then, of course, kicking off things early Sunday morning on NFL Network, the 3-5 Atlanta Falcons play the 7-2 Indianapolis Colts in Berlin, Germany. So I'm going to be rooting for the Falcons there, even though they're an NFC team. I kind of want to see the Colts come back down to earth, although that could bite us in the rear end later, huh? Probably should be pulling for the Colts there, shouldn't I? Should be Packers.
You think Sauce will have a day?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I tell you, that team, they're ready. They're ready to win now. That's for sure. And that happened quick. And the big thing that many people aren't talking about the Indianapolis Colts, they got one of, if not the best offensive lines in all of football. They built that offensive line the right way, and I think that's why they're in every single game, week in and week out. So what do y'all think about that? You think the Falcons got a chance there? Or, I mean, it's neutral ground. Weird things happen overseas there in some of these football games.
You said they're in Berlin?
Berlin. It looks like Olympic Stadium in Berlin, Germany.
Well, I would just say to, I guess, Daniel Jones, Guten Morgen, which means good morning, because they're playing a morning game. See how I tie that all in together? He's slated at 241.5 passing yards against Michael Penix. Don't say it too hard there. 231.5 for Mr. Michael Penix, who, I think that he has shown some definite capabilities. But to your point, Clayton, I'd like to see the Colts kind of mop up the Falcons and just kick them back a little bit.
I like it. Emilio, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, that'd be ideal. And you just got to knock off the NFC teams, but we'll see what happens. It's an early game. You got to travel. We'll see who's prepared.
Yeah. Up next in the 1 o'clock window, kicking things off, the 2-7 New York Giants. They're 0-5 in away games. Travel into Chicago, who are 5-3. They're 2-1 at home. I think it goes without saying we're going to be Giants fans there early Sunday. If my schedule falls into place, I'm going to be going live during this game and doing a little watch party, a little hate watch party on the Chicago Bears.
Fun.
Yeah, we did it that one weekend. It was a lot. It was a blast, wasn't it?
It was the best time I think I've had. Now, knowing that it doesn't really matter. When you're watching a Packer game, you're so nervous the whole time. When you're watching another team play, you're just cracking jokes. You're having a little play-by-play. It was good, man. I loved it.
Yeah. So, Emilio, what do you think? You think the Giants got a chance to win that game? People soon forget. I believe it was it the Giants that beat the Eagles earlier this year? Am I thinking that? Is that what happened?
Yeah, it's tough that you lost. You don't have Neighbors, you don't have Scatterboo, you have Mr. Dart. I think that he just needs to put the team on his back and do whatever he can to try to bring that win home. But they're scrappy. I don't think they're going to roll over. I think that it's going to be a battle because we got to pay attention to that as well. Who are we playing in a couple weeks here? We got to go take care of I think the Giants are actually right after the Eagles, so we need to be ready. One, to watch that team, know what's going on over there, and two, be ready and hoping that they can beat the Bears, but not take it to us.
Yeah, and I agree, man. With Scatterbo out, that one hurts. That one hurts.
Yeah, they're next. Yep, and we got to go to MetLife for that.
Definitely. So again, we'll be doing a live watch party for that game, 1:00, and the other 1:00 game that we're going to be doing. It's going to be we'll be keeping up with both of them. Is Ravens at the Vikings. Okay, 1:00 on Fox. The Ravens 3-5. Lamar Jackson is now back. They're 1-2 on the road. They're traveling to Minneapolis to play the Vikings, who are 4-4. They're 1-2 at home, so something's kind of got to give there. Really like the Ravens' chances of going into Minnesota and winning that ball game, especially with that veteran defense for the Ravens going up against a rookie quarterback who people were acting like. I said this earlier on the live stream. People were acting like J.J. McCarthy was playing like Joe Montana last week. I was like, I mean, the way they were talking, I was expecting to log on and see 320 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, no picks. He didn't even crack the 200 mark. I was like, why is everybody all the hell about J.J. McCarthy all of a sudden? I don't know what I'm missing there, but we'll be pulling for the Ravens in that game, obviously. We want the Vikings and the Bears to both lose in that 1:00 window. Jacob, you're right up there in Vikings territory. What's the buzz like up there, man? How's it feel up there? Do you think the Vikings are going to knock off the Ravens at home?
I don't. To Jen's point, let's go Lamar. He might be a little rusty when he comes back. I do think that for once in their career, once in their history of being a fan base, Vikings fans are a little hesitant to throw all their eggs into that basket of J.J. McCarthy. To your point too, Clayton, he hasn't been really perfect. We haven't seen a polished game. It is odd, isn't it, though, that all of a sudden with all the hate they had on Jordan and all these young quarterbacks that need to perform so quickly, JJ has kind of been babied along. He's had some times to come out and show some stuff. It seems like they've almost kept him hidden, maybe even falsifying some certain injuries that he couldn't come back from, yada, yada, yada. That being said, they do have Justin Jefferson slated at 77.5 as his over-under receiving yards right now, which I think is a little generous, but that Ravens defense has been pretty suspect than the Ravens defense we're used to in most years.
What do you think, Emilio? How do you feel about Ravens at the Vikings, sir?
Ravens need to go on a run, man. They need it more than the Vikings do, though the Vikings need it pretty bad. I think that it's even more on the Ravens. They were picked to be a front runner at preseason. They had a real rough start, had an injury to your starting quarterback, and then you kind of get on a roll. I think the ball's rolling downhill for the Ravens. I think they'll probably take care of the Vikings.
Like what Ed Madden says here, Jacob, thanks for highlighting that. I like the Ravens too. Roquan and Hamilton back on defense. So it sounds like you're going to be getting Kyle Hamilton back there at safety if he's been banged up. So that'll help a lot there as well. So again, we're going to be doing a live watch party. It may be for the entirety of the game if I can get settled in time. Get a Japanese steakhouse down the road. They do a Sunday buffet, so we might be rolling in a little late. I'll be snoring on camera. Jacob will have to talk most of the time, but it's going to be a good time. So make sure you check that out. What we could probably do, Jacob, you'll have the Vikings locally, won't you?
I will, but you're talking – oh, no, that'll be Sunday. Yeah. I should be good. Yep.
Cool. If you can make it, you can keep up with the Vikings game. I'll have the Bears game on, and we'll do kind of a simultaneous play-by-play somewhat.
Yes.
It'd be fun. It'd be like a redneck stripper pole red zone channel for you on the day. Right?
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah.
So another 1 o'clock window game. The 6-2 Buffalo Bills travel to the 2-7 Miami Dolphins. Looks like the Bills are 2-1 on the road. Dolphins are 1-3 at home. You never know about these division games. but my money would probably be on the Bills to go down there and smack them in the mouth. How do you see that one, Emilio?
Yeah, I think Mr. McDaniels there, he's got to have to try to show up there and make it happen. But too old for this, calls it the redneck zone. I think.
Love it. Let's go. I need to create a graphic. Don't I?
Perfect.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you're gonna have to title we're gonna have to title it and everything.
Jacob, don't let me forget. We're creating a graphic.
Oh no, those worlds really do coincide there. So
Mandy
No, it
just
works,
snuck me
though.
up here too. Look at this, man. The
What you got
Halloween
there?
cook- the last one, the
You're already
Halloween
on
cookie.
Christmas cookies, man.
No, it's a cat, bro. It's a Halloween cat.
Oh, it's one of the ghost ones. Okay, yeah.
We got something left here.
The
So
Pillsbury
guys would be-
one. Yeah.
you'd be so proud of the joke that I won't make. I had a goodie.
thank
Yeah, I
you.
bet you did, Jacob.
Go ahead, Emilio.
No, it's just the Bills should walk away with this one, but the Bills should have beat the Patriots as well. And remember, the Bills are a great team, and everybody thinks that they're the best. So keep an eye on them and how they handle that team. Maybe they work them 40-7, and maybe it's a knockout.
Yeah, I love what 2 for this says. Complete with commercials for Zen and Marlboro. There you go, Marlboro Reds. So
I love it.
got to have the Reds. All right, let's move it along. 1 o'clock window. Also, the Browns at the Jets. Man, what a crappy game. The 2-6 Browns at the 1-7 Jets. What's left of the Jets, as they sold the farm, obviously. I think my money's on the Browns in that game, boys. I'm just telling you, the Browns should be able to go in there and smoke their head. Somebody showed a graphic of Garrett Wilson earlier. I'm like, oh, that's right. That's all that's left is Garrett Wilson.
Oh.
I love his heart. He's like, what the hell just happened here?
Someone was trying to say that Garrett's excited now because now they have all these draft picks. They can bring in a bunch of talent and make them better. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm too drunk to taste that chicken. That's crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. All right. Go ahead, Jake.
No, it's just Dylan Gabriel, 184.5 slate in that game. Justin Fields, 169.5. People that thought that the Justin Fields thing was going to have a resurgence, that he might have to, actually be respected as a good quarterback in this league. I don't know. That seems to be going down the drain faster than the Browns.
Go ahead, Jake. You're muted now. What the hell happened?
He said he's going down the drain faster than the Browns and started laughing so much he had to mute the mic because he lost it.
He's professional.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, next game. Let's awkward silence. 1 o'clock window on CBS. The 7-2 Patriots are 4-0. They're the road warriors out here, boys. 4-0 on the road, going into Tampa, who's 6-2. They're 2-1 at home. Let's go, Patriots. How cool would it be if the Patriots could go in there and knock off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, knock them down to 6?
That's going to be a battle.
That would be
a really good game. I'm going to want to try to peek in on that one.
I wonder if Jim Nantz, Tony Romo is going to be calling it. And also, look at over here at AccuWeather. Look like we got some thunderstorms in the forecast, a little rain falling. Come on, let's go. What do you think, Jacob? You got any over-unders for that?
I do, and it's like we just talked, that seems like it's going to be a very even match. The over-unders seem to agree almost identically. Baker Mayfield, 244.5. Mr. Drake May, 245.5. I don't know if you guys went to school, but that's almost equal.
I like that. That's only one away, right?
Yeah, buddy. Exactly, as a matter of fact.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would definitely take the Patriots over that. One, because I want that to happen. Two, they've been kind of on a roll here. 4-0 away. They've gone into Buffalo and won. They just have a little bit of grit. If this is where it falls off, so be it. But let's hope that they can pull one up against the Bucs, slow them down a little.
Also in the 1 o'clock window, the Saints 1-8. They're 0-4 on the road. Go to Carolina to play the Panthers, who are 5-4. They're 3-1 at home. So the Panthers coming off a extreme high there with that win over the Packers. I think the Panthers probably handle business here, but you never know, man. It's a divisional game. Maybe the Saints can get hot and pull an upset there. We definitely want the Panthers to lose this one, though, right?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. So if the Panthers go ahead and win it, right, that's all right. Maybe we feel a little bit better about the game. The Saints come in and beat the Panthers. What's the end? I mean, everybody's going to just start losing it online, right? Because, you guys let the Saints beat the Panthers and you couldn't do it?
I could care less what they say.
Agreed.
What I want,
Exactly.
any team that might potentially sneak up and knock the Packers out of the playoffs later on, I want them to lose. Listen, you can say it a million times, and the negative fans will still harp on that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Those games happen every single week in the league. every week in the league. Just like people are probably hearing me say, "There's no way the Saints are going to beat the Panthers." You keep saying that, and there's going to be a game this week that nobody sees coming, and it's going to be an upset. It happens every single week, every week. So again, I'm hoping the Saints beat the Panthers personally, and I could care less what Hambubker789 says over on Twitter about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, Ed Madden, watch the Saints upset the Panthers. I can see it, man. Next 1:00 window, the 5-3 Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Houston to take on the 3-5 Texans. The Texans are 2-2 at home, and the Jaguars are 2-1 on the road. You like the Jaguars' chances there? We showed a graphic earlier on defense, and if I remember correctly, look at the Texans, guys. They have the best pass defense in terms of EPA per dropback at a -0.13. The Jaguars like to throw the football with Trevor Lawrence, right? That matchup to me it kind of tilts towards the Texans, I think, especially being at home. I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans upset them there. So what do y'all think about that one? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming C.J. Stroud must be facing some injuries. Davis Mills slated as the starter with 211.5. Trevor Lawrence 205.5. I just think to your point, Affam's coming in with the hot Duval. I hope we don't have that drop anymore. Just saying. J. Cole confirming CJ is out. Same with Jen there.
That makes it a lot tougher.
It just seems like the Jaguars, for how seemingly hot they started, they just fell off a cliff really quick. And like you said, the Texans defense, they are looking pretty good.
Yeah, J. Cole makes a good point. He says, I think that Cardinals game may be the game that we were just talking about. Every week there's an upset. The next game here, Emilio, 3-5 Cardinals travel to the 6-2 Seahawks divisional game. Kyler Murray is out for the foreseeable future with that foot/ankle injury, I believe it was. So they're going to continue to roll with Jacoby Brissett and going into Seattle, one of the toughest places to play up there. I think the Cardinals got a shot to pull off the upset here, man. They're 2-2 on the road, and the Seahawks are 2-2 at home. Something's got to give there.
Yeah, hoping the Cardinals pull one out here. Slow the Seahawks down a little bit, but you got to contain JSN. You got to contain Sam Darnold, who's not seeing ghosts anymore, and we just got to be ready to, because that could be a team that we see later on in the year, right? The Seahawks being a super strong team could be an issue or a competition for us. And yeah, the Cardinals they didn't go away easy when we were playing against them, and they've only lost their games by a handful of points. So I think that's going to be a good one. Hopefully they can pull it out.
Yeah, I agree. Darnold is tied right now, as it actually is moving right in front of me, who is the highest slated passing yards with 256.5. Jacoby Brissett, to Clayton's point, at 229.5. He is playing good football. To Affen's point, Seattle is so hot right now. Very hot.
So hot right now.
Like Hansel. Like a lot of the people in the quote, JSN is having himself quite a year. I believe, who else did they just get traded over there? Was it He's something that I could not believe.
Yeah.
So they got another crazy good receiving core there, and we'll see what they do down the stretch. It would be nice to see them take a loss, though.
This receiving is tough.
Every time we get a Zoolander quote, I always just want to say, "Dare I lick my bowl?" Such a good move. All right. So 2 over this says, "LOL." At the Vikings for letting Darnold and Jones go. Yeah, that Vikings team will be scary right now if Darnold was still with them and playing at the level he's playing now. Now, would he have been playing at that level? Last year would suggest he would, right? He was an MVP candidate for most of the year. So, moving along, this is going to be a doozy year, boys.
Oh, yeah.
6-2 Rams at the 6-3 Niners. NFC West showdown out there. 4:25 kickoff. Eastern time, of course. The Rams 3-1 on the road. The 49ers 2-1 at home. That's going to be when you're going to want to sit down, kick your feet up. I'm going to build a little fire downstairs. It's going to be chilly on Sunday, and I'll snooze off by halftime. But we're going to watch a snap or two of this one.
Yeah, the only thing with that one is it's tough. It's not really a home game for either of them, right? One of the fan bases can definitely swarm that. So I remember, I think it was the last year when the Rams played them, and it was a Rams home game, and there was so much red in the stands. So it's like you get might be working with silent count, but Matthew Stafford's on a heater. I thought his back would have been slowing him down a little bit more this year, and that is the opposite of what's happening. Hopefully Tay Adams, keeps doing his thing.
Yeah, this is tough for me, Jacob. As Jen Wright says, who do we want to lose? I love how she said, who do we want to win? Because we don't want either of them to win, but we got to pick one, right? So we'll say it like that. Me personally, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of a closet McVay fan. I like McVay. I think he's a great dude. I think he's great for the game. I think he respects the game. He respects the history of the game. Grew up in a football family around the game. I think I'm kind of pulling for the Rams. They got Devontae Adams as well. Love Devontae Adams. I kind of like how that team's built. At the same time, though, the Niners already having 3 losses, Jacob, it would help the Packers a little bit if they could knock off the Rams there, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, and I unfortunately do kind of agree with you. I've been scarred too many times in my life to ever root for the 49ers organization in any way, shape, or form. Can't stand him. Absolutely hate him. I respect the Rams. I respect McVay. I like the fact that his team respects him so much that they dress up for him as Halloween, give him a little lighthearted ribbing. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Yeah. And to your point, our boy Devontae's over there representing. To me, that's an easy pick for them. But mathematically, I think you're probably right. We should probably hope for the other way, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
What do you think, Amelia? Who do you want to win in that one, man?
Yeah, I'd take the Rams as well. Tay, Mr. Sean Dolak, and Sean McVay to go to town.
Which Lance says, agree, Jacob. I hate the Niners. I think we all do, right? I think that's something we can all get behind. So, all right, next, the 5-3 Lions at the 3-6 Commanders. The Lions are 2-2 on the road. You know, obviously one of those 2 losses being at Lambeau in Week 1, and then the Commanders are 2-2 at home. Lions are playing pretty good football right now. How cool would it be, though, if the Commanders knocked them off on Sunday? That would help the Packers tremendously. That's a 4:25 kickoff on Fox there, Jacob. How do you see that one, man? You think the Commanders got a chance to win that one?
It's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance, though, type chance.
We got a little rain, too. Look, probably a 50% chance of rain out there in Landover, Maryland.
Okay, I'll take that. I mean, the Commanders have been very up and down this year, obviously, with the up and down Daniels having that horrific. I can't even. Every time I see that kind of stuff, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Marcus Mariota just did jump up from 200 pass yards just a second ago to 207.5. So apparently, whatever I just said kicked it up. Jared Goff slated at 250.5. It's a snowball's chance in hell, but I think the Commanders, if they play their type of game and the defense comes ready to play, who knows? Any given Sunday. What if that's the game where we're sitting here?
I would be very excited, Jacob. Thank you very much. If you would send the Lions to 5-4, I'd appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I forgot about Jaden Daniels. He dislocated his elbow, right? Is that what happened there?
Oh, yeah. Oof.
Nasty. You get that sometimes on these tough Sundays, right? So, all right. And then the game of the week. That was a hard one to watch, Corey said. So, the game of the week here, Sunday Night Football on NBC, is going to be the 5-3 Steelers at the 6-3 Chargers. That's going to be a good ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to be rooting for Aaron. You know how I feel about that. That's going to be a lot of fun to see him go out there in L.A. and try to get that win. He might even get to sleep in his own bed. The team won't let him do that.
Hey.
You know, back home in Cali, that'll be a fun one to watch, man. I hope the Steelers pull that off.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers slated at 215.5. Justin Herbert 256.5. So he's also tied. We're one of the top 3 highest projected pass yards there. And in case you guys were wondering, Aaron Rodgers rush yards 1.5. I don't know.
Over.
That's a tough one. In a game, though, when it gets down at the end of the season, we have been seeing him to get a little more aggressive, and I feel like he's playing good ball, man. I don't care what anybody says. He's playing good ball. To Clayton's point, it's almost like watching when we're talking about the Rams, kind of the same types of players that we've had that long history of loyalty with. I am not going to be mad if I watch Aaron Rodgers play great football.
Yeah. I almost thought, Emilio, he could get 1.5 on a QB sneak, and I thought they don't use him like that, do they? Remember when they did the tush push and he just stood back there and went?
That is great. I love that.
Great close.
Classic 12. But yeah, no, hoping for Aaron to still succeed and do his thing. But the Chargers also are battling. Both their starting tackles are out for the season. So they lost Joe All to a season-ending knee, I think it was, and their other tackles.
Was that Sean Slater? Was that the other one?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough game for Herbert. He's gonna have to put the team on his back, which he can do. He's a talented quarterback. Night game at home, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
And obviously, we wrap it up with Monday Night Football. The 6-2 Eagles traveling into Lambeau to face the 5-2-1 Packers. The Eagles 3-1 on the road. The Packers 3-1 at home. Something's got to give there, right? That's going to be an awesome. I can't wait, man. It's going to be absolutely awesome. They're saying game time 30 degrees right now. I think last I've seen a 15% chance of flurries. Maybe that's changed, but that should be a blast to watch. Obviously, we're going to have the rest of the week to dive into that and everything else. Jacob, is there any other comments you want to hit before we move on to the playoff predictor? I'm excited about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Deadfish, who's a longtime favorite of the show, says this is odd. The Rams are 1-2 against the NFC with their only win against the Saints. The 49ers are 6-1 against the NFC. So, man, I tell you what, that maybe shifts the scales a little bit, but still, I just screw the 49ers, man. Can't do it.
There you go. You heard it from a fan right here. All right, guys, if you're watching this video back later, let us know in the comments. What do you think about the Week 10 slates? Is there a game we maybe missed in terms of, hey, we'd rather this team win than that one to help the Packers out? And if you're a fan of another team, chime in. You know, we have other fans roll through here all the time in the comments. Believe me, they usually come in here and talk crap to me, but that's okay. Let us know how you feel about your team. If you're not a Packers fan, let us know in the comments. And if you want to, hit subscribe. You ain't got to come back. Just hit that sub button for us. So help the old algae out. Click like and click that bell icon if you do want to know when we go live here in the future. All right, let's do it, boys. Let's jump into the playoff predictor here. I'm excited about this, man. This is a new site that I haven't seen. I apologize for the ads. It's going to be a little bit annoying, but there's nothing I can do about it. I wanted to sign up, but there's no way to sign up, so they're just going to sell us ads the entire time. Bang! Can you guys see this? Okay.
It's pretty good.
All right. So I'm going to explain what you're seeing on the screen here. Okay. On the left side here, that's your Week 10 matchups, and you can pick teams, and it changes the playoff predictor, okay? So you can pick the winners outright. And then playoff participants, this is how it sits right now. The Colts are the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed is the Patriots. 3 seed is the Broncos. 4 seed is the Steelers in the AFC. The 5 seed is the Bills. 6 seed is the Chargers. I just realized that. So that Chargers game, that's going to be between the 4 and the 6 seed. That's really, really cool. In the AFC there Sunday night. And then you get the number 7 Jacksonville Jaguars are the number 7 seed. In the NFC, the Eagles are number 1, Buccaneers 2, Seahawks 3, the Packers are 4, Rams are 5, 49ers are 6, and the Lions are currently the 7th seed. And you can see how the North, all the divisions shake out right here. So what we can do is we can go through this whole slate of games and we can pick each game, and you're going to see everything adjust as we go. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So let's do it. Let's start with the Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos. Who are we picking here tonight, boys? Which way would y'all like to go?
Gotta go the Bronx.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Pete Carroll on TV, though. Haven't seen him all year.
There you go. So you'll see it change in real time. Bang, we picked it. They're now 8-2 down here. So everything will change as we go. All right. So now they jump up to the 1 seed. Okay. Falcons at the Colts. That's the game over there. Ian, say it for me, Jacob. Where's that being played?
Guten Morgen in Berlin.
That's it, right? So I think if we had to pick a team here, I want the Colts to win, right? And I think they're probably going to win. Do you guys disagree with that?
Same. Nope.
Same? All right, so let's pick the Colts. So now the Colts are back to the number 1 seed. The Broncos are number 2, right? All right, moving along. The 1-8 Saints at the 5-4 Carolina Panthers. All right. But who do you think has the edge, or do you think the Panthers take care of business, or do we want to go Saints here? And we can click off of it too. We don't have to set it in stone. Like if you want to see what happens, like for instance, you see the Panthers here, right? They're sitting in second place in the South. So let's pick the Saints to win this game and see what happens. See if anything changes. They're still second place, so nothing really on the line there for the Panthers. If they win, they jump to 6-4, and they're still not in the playoffs as it sits right now. So what do y'all think about that one?
Carolina, I think.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, moving along. So we got the home teams dominating here so far. The 2-7 Giants at the 5-3 Bears. As you can see here in the North, the Bears are currently in 3rd place, 1 game ahead of the Minnesota Vikings. If the Bears win that game, right, look how quick they could jump the Lions. If the Lions lose this week and the Bears win, all of a sudden the Lions are in 3rd place in the North. Isn't that wild?
Wow.
Yeah. Now, if the Giants win, you're going to notice the Bears are going to stay there in that 3rd place spot because we haven't gotten to the Vikings game yet. But there's really a lot on the line already for a Week 10 slate of games. This is pretty wild. Jacob, what do you think about this one? Would you go Giants or Bears in this one?
My heart is telling me the Giants. My head is unfortunately saying maybe the Bears.
Bears. Too much to overcome there. Emilio, do you agree with that?
Yeah, but I'm going to just stick to my guns, and I'm going to pick Mr. Dart to go ahead and take it all for us.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be the tiebreaker, so I'm gonna pick the Bears. Okay. I feel like the Bears have the advantage there with Scatterbo, being out obviously for the year. I think that takes a lot of wind out of their sails. Continues to. It's on the road in Chicago as well. We know that field is absolute trash 90% of the time, so that will probably play a role as well. So again, that would improve the Bears to 6-3 on the season. Next, you got the Jaguars 5-3 at the Houston Texans at 3-5. Who do we want to pick here? I'll let you go first this time, Emilio.
I think it'd be the Jags.
I agree. What about you, Jacob?
Yeah. Houston's defense is playing good, as we talked about, but I just think Jacksonville's going to come out with a little more to play, and I think they get the dub.
There you go. So if the Jaguars win that game, they're going to hold on to the number 7 seed, their second place in the AFC South there. Deadfish says the Texans. Jen Wright says Jacksonville. I love it. Love it. All right, 6-2 Buffalo Bills at the 2-7 Miami Dolphins. I think we would all agree probably going to be the Bills, right?
Yep. Bills.
All right, so if we pick the Bills in this game, did it freeze up on us? Look at this. It did. No way. Oh, here we go. Oh, there it is. You got to find the sweet spot. All right, so the Bills, shut up, Jacob. The Bills now improve to 7-2. It's wild. 7-2, and they're the number 5 seed. Isn't that crazy to think about? So, obviously, that would put them in second place with the same record, same win-loss record as the New England Patriots as it sits right now. So, next game, Baltimore Ravens at the Minnesota Vikings. It's going to get interesting. The Vikings dead last in the North as it sits right now, right? Up to this point of this simulation. If the Vikings were to win that game, they're still in dead last.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty wild to think about. So if Chicago takes care of business, the Vikings cannot jump out of last place in the North, to the best of my knowledge here. What are we thinking? Baltimore Ravens or Minnesota Vikings here, guys?
Ravens.
I got to go Ravens, yeah.
Ravens? All right. So let's go Ravens. So that would mean the Vikings would fall to 4-5. Ed Madden agrees there in the chat. All right, moving along. Let me go get this scrolled down so we can get that. All right.
We got the toilet bowl.
Exactly. So we've got the Cleveland Browns at the 1-7 Jets. I don't think anybody cares who wins. I would think the Cleveland Browns have the advantage here, right?
I agree with that.
Yep.
Let's go with the Browns there. All right. So the Jets are the worst team in the league according to this. Well, it's them between them and the Saints up to this point, right? So probably going to be able to get them a franchise quarterback next year. New England Patriots 7-2 at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 6-2. This is tough. Emilio, what are you thinking here? You think the Patriots win that game? Or you think the Bucs got a better shot being at home in the rain?
I think the Patriots got a chance. I think Drake May is playing some really good football right now. I think that he does have a shot to go ahead and upset Tampa at home there.
Got it. Jacob, you agree there? Think the Patriots win that game, man?
I do. I think Drake May is just playing really, really well for how young he is. I'm going Patriots.
Yeah. Deadfish says Bucks, although I want the Patriots to win. Ed Madden says Patriots. We're going to go Patriots. It's unanimous here. All right. So the Patriots, notice the Bucks are the number 2 seed before this game. Patriots win. The Bucks fall all the way to the 4th seed. Now the Packers are the 3 seed. So that's what's on the line there. Pretty cool. Next, you got the 3-5 Arizona Cardinals traveling to the 6-2 Seattle Seahawks division game. We talked about, I think it was split 2-2 at home, 2-2 on the road. Has Arizona got a realistic shot here with Jacoby Brissett to go into the 12th man and try to upset Sam Darnold and those Seahawks boys? What do you think?
I'm just not buying that. I think that they're the battle of the birds there. I think that the Seahawks are going to come away, especially at home, with the new acquired talent they have, and JSN just playing out of his mind. I don't see the Cardinals being able to stack up.
Same.
We got joint care ads over there, not those joints, Jacob. Get your head out of the gutter, all right? So, do you agree, Emilio? You thinking Seattle here? All right, so let's see what happens. Seattle's the number 2 seed, right? Let's click on them. They jump to the number 1 seed all of a sudden,
That's
right?
crazy.
Win that game. If Arizona wins that game, Seattle falls all the way to the 7th seed. So that's a big shakeup to go. Literally, you win number 1 seed. This is before the Eagles game, of course. You lose, you're all the way down to the 7th seed. But we'll keep it set at Seattle there. So they're now the number 1 seed up to this point. 6-2 LA Rams at the 6-3 San Francisco 49ers. Who do we think is going to win that one, boys? What are we thinking here? Most likely scenario.
I'm sticking with LA.
Okay.
Same.
All right, so we're going to go with the LA Rams. So the Rams are currently the 5 seed. If they win that ball game, they're going to remain the 5 seed. If the 49ers win that ball game, all of a sudden the 49ers are the 5 seed and the Rams fall to the 7 seed. But we're going to keep it with the Rams. So the Rams are in the 5 seed and the 49ers at this point are out of the playoffs.
And that with the Rams winning, that brings in the Lions into the 7th seed.
There you go.
And the Bears. So, I mean, you're playing with fire.
So now you Now you get the Detroit Lions 5-3 coming into Landover, Maryland to face the Washington Commanders, who are 3-6. We all said the Lions probably going to win this ball game, right? Did we agree on that with Jaden Daniels being out?
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
Jaden.
Hope for the Commanders, but you know what? Screw it. I picked everybody else against them. Commanders are going out there and taking the dub.
You know, I like your thoughts, man. I see a little Giants, but little Commanders, and that's what we're gonna do.
See, we're going Commanders here. All right, let's see what happens if we pick the Lions. Okay, so the Lions are currently the 7th seed. If they win that game, they jump to the 6th seed. All right, so not a whole lot of movement there. They just jump up one spot. If we go Commanders, Lions are out of the playoffs all of a sudden.
I love it. Look at Carolina coming back in there. I thought they were a bad team.
We might have to tune into that game, boys. There's a lot on the line right there. I just hate that Jaden Daniels is out. It sucks that the Lions are lucking up and getting that game out.
Yeah.
Dead fish Lions, but I just threw up in my mouth. So
Yeah.
all right, next you got the 5-3 Steelers on the road, the 6-3 Chargers. Steelers are the 4 seed as it sits right now. The Chargers are the 6 seed. What are we thinking, boys? What do you want to pick here?
AR-12.
AR-8.
Yes, yeah, that's right. I want to root for Rodgers. I just think the Chargers at home are a little bit more dominating. I think I'll go with the Chargers.
I'm going to go Pittsburgh on this one because I feel like the Chargers, all those LA teams, it just seems like their home field advantage just doesn't really, whether they play good at home or not, it just seems like away crowds typically take over. So I'm going to side with Emilio on this one, Jacob. But if we pick the 6-3 Chargers, they would improve from the 6th seed. Nope, they would stay the same as the 6th seed. If Pittsburgh somehow, some way gets that win on the road, they drop to the 7th seed, and Pittsburgh is the number 4 seed. That's how that lands, all right? So going into Monday night, with the way we pick these games, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think we all pick these like this is what we think is going to happen, not necessarily what we want to happen. But
I picked, except for the divisionals, I was a little aggressive, but yeah, I have faith. I have faith in the upsets for our teams.
Okay, so if all those games fall into place the way that we just laid it out, right? You go into Monday Night Football, the Eagles 6-2, the Packers 5-2-1. The Eagles are the number 2 seed behind the Seattle Seahawks. The Packers are the number 3 seed, right? Leading the North as it sits right there. Remember, we gave the Bears a win here. Y'all ain't going to like this, boys. You ready? If the Eagles win this ball game, okay, all of a sudden the Packers are the 6th seed and the Bears are leading the North.
Ay.
Think about that. That's wild.
Jacob definitely just threw up in his mouth there.
I swear, it came up. I had to swallow it down.
Now, Kid Madden says Packers going to win this game. They're good and pissed. I agree with that. I think you're going to get the best version of the Packers. They're going to be focused, pissed off. Now, they got to go out there and do it, right? But I don't even want to know, man. I was over here talking, trying to.
Come on, Emilio. What are you doing, man?
Get it together, Emilio. Get your head out of the gutter, dude. All right. If the Packers win, so if they lose, they're the 6th seed, right? If they win, all of a sudden they're the number 2 seed in the NFC. Me likey that, Jan.
Yeah.
Don't like that matchup, though, with the Panthers coming into Lambeau with that first playoff game. That sucks. But, and again, the teams on the bye week this week are the Bengals. They're not really a team, but they're in the league. The Dallas Cowboys, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans, too. Nobody will miss them. We won't even know they're not playing this week. So that's the way that'll go. What do y'all think, man? Get your all's thoughts on it. I thought that was cool. Maybe we can do this moving forward once a week and just kind of see the slate of games and see how everything's going to fall into place. But what do y'all think?
I think it's a great exercise. Super cool. Really, really like the way that this kind of shows you the different scenarios. And yeah, I mean, like we said, it'd be nice if we could screenshot this and then check and see how we actually did. Maybe check that on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday or something like that. And that way we can kind of hold each other accountable and also see the different scenarios that could have been kind of thing.
Can you just go back and have Jackson Dart whoop the Bears real fast? I just want to see.
See, I know this is why I wanted to do it to me. I'm glad you said that, man. Let's take a look at it. So there's the Bears game, right? Again, with the Bears winning, that's how that falls into place. If the Giants win, the Bears go from 6-3 in second place in the North and also the number 6 seed. They drop out of the playoffs and they're the number 3 team in the NFC North. Now, let's say that happens and the Packers lose to the Eagles. Let's see what changes there, if it'll load up. Come on now, don't do this to me. You serious right now? You serious, Clark?
Serious, Clark.
I got to hit up, Y, don't I? What do I got to do here?
Oh, yeah, you do. You just got
65%. 65%. That's what we
That may be the end of the exercise, guys.
Nice. See, this is why I don't ask questions.
I mean, I think this is just this is a sign that the Packers going to beat the Eagles. What do you think?
Can't remove that. It's in stone.
All right, it'll let me click there. Let's see if that fixes it now. It does not. There it is, guys. Packers going to win. I wanted to see. I mean, let's think about it. Let's try to troubleshoot it here a little bit. If the Packers lose that game, they fall to what would be 5-3-1, and in the North, they would still be in the lead in the North, wouldn't they?
Yeah, if everybody else loses. That's the plan.
So basically, it would take the did we pick the Lions to lose?
Yeah,
we did, didn't we? Where are they at?
Why
Okay, got it. So we picked the Commanders to win. So let's say the Lions. Well, we can't do it now. It's over. Never mind. This sucks. Everything fell apart. It absolutely
Ready
fell
to go.
apart. But I think we got a little bit better idea of how this week kind of.
absolutely.
It's week 10, but man, there's a lot on the line, dude.
That's exactly what it showed me, Clay, is how much movement there is just in that. I mean, just in 5-6 games, just in the 1 o'clock window, there's going to be movement in there, and then you follow up through the rest of the night. It's time, right? Football season's here in full force. We're past that halfway point, and you're closing in now.
It's just like college football right now. Holy cow, man! Every week's a playoff game for some of these teams.
Yeah.
Every week, just like Tennessee last week. That essentially, you got to have a lot go right for them to get into the college football playoff now. And I love the fact that college football is feeling more like the pros now in that regard. Jacob, you got anything else you want to add here, man? Anything in terms of what we just covered? Anything at all?
Not necessarily for that specifically, but I didn't know if you guys had already covered it, but I've seen a couple different chats coming through. Just Chris Casual and saying prayers up to Marshawn Nealand. I saw a bunch of the other ones to his friends and family, and just tragedy. I'm not going to speak on any specifics because it's still early, but I mean, football is a vicious game. The CTE is an absolute real thing. Not sure if that's exactly what the case is, but it's a tragedy, an absolute tragedy. I know that was one of me and Tim's guys, kind of a smaller school, if I can remember correctly, but absolute physical freak and had the world in front of him. And sometimes, if you ever struggling with any sort of mental health, anything, like, talk to your bros, man. I don't want to speak out of turn here, but we've had this group chat with these crazy guys here in this podcast, and there's been so many times that we've leaned on each other through a lot of pretty dark times, and it helps, man. It helps.
I think that extends into the chat here too, man. Just seeing how everybody gets along in the chat and everything. Yeah. It's a really cool environment that everybody's had a part in creating, man. But yeah, that sucks. And I think it got confirmed what it was. And he was definitely dealing with, obviously, mental health issues, as many people are. It just sucks to see such a young person. I mean, he's just a kid still when you think about it, man. It's just crazy. Was he a second-round pick last year? Am I thinking right, guys? Or was that this year?
It was this year, I thought.
Was it this year, Emilio, or was it last year?
I was trying to find him. I thought it was this.
Let me see.
No, I think it was last year.
Was it last year? That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah, last year. Okay.
Either way, what is he, 24 years old, 25?
Yeah,
24, I thought.
Yeah, 24.
It brought back so many memories of, like, I think his name was Sturzik, or Strezik, however you say his name. It played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another guy that dealt with CTE in 2012. Obviously, tragically lost his life. And then, of course, you had Mike Webster, which was patient zero in the CTE stuff, who was just tormented the last few years of his life. And these guys, the young guys, don't get me wrong, the danger is just as much there as, I don't want to say just as much there, because technology has come along. You get the Guardian caps, which has got concussions way down. That's why I've got to mute people when they complain about how the Guardian caps look. I don't give a rat's ass what it looks like, man. You're talking about saving people's lives and helping people. These guys have families. They've got a mom, they got a dad, they got a brother, they got a sister. In most cases, they got kids, they got wives, and I can deal with a weird looking helmet to make sure these guys stay as safe as they possibly can. But the players like Mike Webster back in the day, and like I said, Strelzik and all these other guys, Mike Webster's one of those dudes, Hall of Fame center, paved the way, absolutely paved the way for the way the game is. He played the game the right way, playing in what they call the pit, right? When you're at the offensive line, basically what it is you may not have symptoms of a concussion, but they said every time those helmets were cracking back then, it was basically what they called a micro concussion. And that's the stuff that that really sets up the protein and all that stuff that causes CTE, and it's just it's devastating, man. This is how bad it got for Mike Webster. They said he was homeless and living in his van, and they said one of the guys that talked to him before he lost his life, that it had gotten so bad, the pain was so bad from the CTE and everything else, just the brain damage, and his whole body was just battered from playing the game as hard as he did. He had a stun gun, and he would shock himself in the leg until he went unconscious. That's the only way he could go to sleep. It'd gotten that bad. So, again, just think about that when we're watching games on Sunday and we get mad. I get mad too sometimes. Like, they're running the game when you see a big hit and they throw a flag, and it's like, man, that's what used to make the game great. It's just not worth it, man. We can adjust, right? We can all adjust. Just like we have in other things in life, right? Things are better every year, hopefully. So, yeah. There you go. Ed Madden said it best, man. Makes you remember that football is just a game. Absolutely. And these are human beings with families and everything else. So. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody. This was fun. We'll be back tomorrow, definitely 6 p.m. Central for PTA Live, if everything goes as planned on my end. I'll also be doing probably multiple live streams throughout the day, these little 15, 20-minute episodes I've been doing. I get a few minutes, something breaks loose, we get some injury information or whatever, we'll go live immediately and get that content out to you guys as quick as possible. It's pretty cool earlier, man. Just randomly went live, 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes notice, set up the stream, had almost 350 people watching live. It was a blast sitting here talking ball. So, appreciate you was joining.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Everybody have a wonderful evening. And again, special shout out to Randy Cleavers. He reached out to me, so we're going to get that Romeo Dobbs jersey sent over to him. He was the winner of that. And thanks to everyone who donated to OperationHorsesHill.org, giving back to those veterans that have given so much to us. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Jacob, say something smart.
Guten Morgen. Guten Evening.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.